to a pleasant and inspiring day.
Hello, everybody. I have to control myself not to address you as the lovely people of the city of Stuttgart. And so I have it in writing what I'm going to tell to you. Dear Minister of Health of the Republic of Senegal, Mrs. Kaul Sik, dear past Minister of Finance and of Science of Japan, Omi-san, State Secretaries, Mr. Schütte and Mr. Brown, dear past Senator Söllner, dear Berlin State Secretary Zimmer, Excellencies from around the world, dear Chief Scientific Advisor to the President of the European Union, Anne Glower, welcome, Presidents of academies and universities, members of the Board of Trustees, members of Parliament in Berlin and in the federal body and of the European Parliament, distinguished guests, dear viewers on our live stream channel. The audience we talk to today exceeds the largest convention hall we have in the city. Due to live stream, a couple of thousand of people are watching this event today. I'm welcoming all of you to the 4th Falling Walls Conference. Actually, to many of us, including myself, it's a surprise that we could make it not only once, but it's now about to be a tradition, and we're very happy to welcome you. Yesterday, and this tells you how much this is a place of inspiration, I got inspired by one of our guests who said to me, the best address you can do to the audience is just saying, welcome, Assembly of the Curious. That's a beautiful idea. So hello, Assembly of the Curious. We welcome among us the most curious. They are going to talk. 20 of the most curious people you can think of, and brilliant enough not only to be curious but to find out new things, will talk to us. The Falling Walls Conference is developing. When we started 4 years ago, it was a one-day conference, what you are going through today. And then we expanded. Yesterday we had for the second time the Falling Walls Lab with 100 brilliant young people presenting their breakthroughs within 3 minutes. So if you feel 15 minutes is short, imagine what 3 minutes are. We had 100 of them, and during the day you get ever more curious and enthusiastic about the work of these people. Tomorrow, we will continue after the lab yesterday and the conference today. Tomorrow there will be the Falling Walls Circle, where we try to bring meaning to what we have heard yesterday and today, where strategists on science, where decision makers on science funding are talking what did we learn and what are the consequences. So this is a little step towards sustainability in a conference that is multidisciplinary. Of course, our meeting is inspired by an event 23 years ago. 23 years ago, this would have been a deadly place to be if you're not wearing an East German uniform. This sewer plant was right on the death strip, and it was impossible to be here. So this change is a wonderful reason to be here, and I'm saying thank you to the hosts of Radialsystem who are allowing us to be here for the 4th time. What's special about this conference is it's not about problems, as most conferences, it's about solutions. And this is highlighted by the speakers we have that you will see in your program. However, it's not only this 23 years old event of the wall coming down, but November 9th, as you know, is the most ambiguous day probably in German history, as it's not only the day the wall came down, but it's the day of the Crystal Night in 1938. This, to me, is a special reason to welcome our speakers who are from Israel. And we are very proud that the Weizmann Institute, one of the great places of science in the world, is partnering with us, and we have 2 people from them talking to us today. You may applaud. We have 20 speakers from California to Copenhagen and from Massachusetts to Senegal. We will have a slight shift in program because one of our visitors from New York is still delayed, but we are sure he or she will get in by the afternoon, so there will be a little shift. And I have to tell you, and that's the probably most puzzling thing about this program, about this conference, that something pretty odd is taking place. We are inviting people to come from the whole world to this conference to talk about an issue they dedicate their life to, and all we give for them is 15 minutes. It is almost impossible for our speakers to stick to these 15 minutes, and this is why we help them. A minute before the end of the 15 minutes, you will listen to a sound, and I'm asking to give that in advance so you can get a bit accustomed to it. Can I have a Räuspern, bitte? There it is. So then you have 1 minute to go. When this minute is over, a very friendly assistant will come up the stage. Klaus Franz has a tremendous career in front of him as a doorman, I'm sure. And he will just help the speaker to get to an end and find his way back to his seat. We will help the audience, we will help you as well to be as focused as possible. Even the most noted academics ruin their reputation when they happen to ask questions in an academic conference. Sometimes it turns out to become a second speech. To avoid this, we really want to prevent you from this ruin of your reputation. To prevent this, you will find in the program document a couple of pages where you can write down your question. And the hosts of our panels will make sense out of whatever you write down. So don't hesitate, there will be assistants walking up and down, they'll pick up the papers and they will be brought to the hosts who will moderate our talks. Those who are listening to us on the live stream, you can Twitter or you can raise questions via Facebook. I can't end without saying thank you. Thank you to our partners and donors. Many of you are contributing to this conference and make possible that we are now a continuous conference taking place every year. I have to say, first of all, the Federal Ministry of Education and Research, State Secretary Schütte, thank you. I have to mention the Berlin Senate, and I have to mention all the partners from Akatech to Stifterverband who are so beneficial to us. However, our meeting would not be possible without courageous dissidents some 20 years ago and without allies who helped the dismantling of the wall, the disappearance of East Germany, of the communist bloc, to become a peaceful reunification of Germany and Europe. So I'm very happy to welcome the Ambassador of the United States, who will address us, and I'm sure there are certain events over the past days in the United States you may refer to. Dear Ambassador Murphy, thank you for being with us. Thank you for talking to us. You're all very welcome. Thank you.